everyone. Welcome to Bickering Book Reviews. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Becky.
And today we're talking about Genuine Fraud by E. Lockhart. And we actually got this as an ARC. She came to visit our library. Woohoo! Yep. And we were lucky to get...
We were gifted ARCs.
We were gifted...
There was
an ARC fairy, and we got an ARC.
And we appreciated it.
Yeah, definitely appreciated it. So... like with any E. Lockhart book, you have to be very careful about how you describe the book because you will totally give away the ending.
And we don't want to.
And we're trying really hard not to. So I'm going to give you like the vaguest arc summary I've ever written.
Yes.
So here we go. I'm going to like read it because I want to make sure that I don't give anything away. Super important. Okay. So in this novel that begins at the end, the reader is introduced to the main characters who are on the run from something to somewhere. Leaving behind casualties of friends and family, there is a drive to reinvent oneself and to create a space to become who one wants to become. See, super vague.
Super vague.
But it totally kind of encompasses everything that's going on in the book.
Yes.
Vaguely.
So this was a super quick read. I think I literally sat and read it in one sitting.
Yeah, it was a super quick read for me too.
And it's like 260 pages, and you don't usually like E. Lockhart.
I don't usually.
I'm an E. Lockhart fan.
This is probably one of my favorite E. Lockhart books thus far. It was quick. It was well written. It was interesting.
So she says in her notes that she borrowed a lot from Patricia Highsmith and The Talented Mr. Ripley. If you've seen the movie Talented Mr. Ripley, you're going to figure out what happens after about 50 pages.
I haven't seen The Talented Mr. Ripley. It sounds like I really do need to.
Yeah.
Hello, Matt Damon and Jude Law. Like, what? Where was I for this?
So Jude Law it's like one of his first big movies. He's English, pretending to be an American, but he sings a song in Italian. That was my favorite part. When I was like 17, I'd watch it on a loop.
Why have I not seen this movie?
I have the DVD. I'll own it too.
Okay. So I think the most interesting thing about this book, kind of first and foremost, is the format that it's written in. Because it starts at the end and works its way backwards.
Which I loved.
I think it was awesome. I mean, it's something unique. It's something that you don't see. It's novel. I think that this is something that a lot of new authors are going to start picking up on and using because it definitely kind of mimics how Facebook reads. Yeah. Because you read from the end to the beginning. So I really can see this kind of becoming a very popular format for new YA books.
Well, I feel like they've been doing it in movies for a while, because isn't that like what Memento was? But we don't see it in other things. You don't really see it in books and stuff. And I think it's good. I think some people are going to be confused, but it's one of those. The way she wrote it was such an easy read that you don't need to get confused. Like if it was overly convoluted, I would have been lost. Yeah. But it moved super fast.
And I always thought, like, I'm surprised more authors don't write it in this way, because I thought a lot of authors say when they're writing mysteries, they always write the end first. It's easier to figure out what happens in a mystery novel because they already know the ending. Well,
and if you watch old mystery TV shows, or even if you like watch Monk, the audience knows who did it. The whole point is to how it's solved.
Exactly.
Right, like Columbo, which is oddly popular. My family loves Columbo. You know it. You just have to figure out how he's going to solve it.
Yeah. I mean, so I can certainly see this becoming more popular. It was interesting because none of the characters were likable.
No.
Like, I didn't like any of the characters.
But that was kind of the point.
But it was okay. It wasn't... They weren't so unlikable that I didn't like the story. They were just... I wouldn't want to meet them.
No. No, you wouldn't.
I really, really wouldn't.
Yes.
And I usually don't get into the high society books, but this still kind of worked for me too. I think it was the kind of locales that they traveled to were interesting, and you know,
because there's a lot of globetrotting. They're like in England, they're in like Nantucket, they're in the Caribbean, and
they're all over the place. So that was really nice, and it worked for me in a way that didn't normally. So I think E. Lockhart fans are gonna like this, and I also think E. Lockhart
naysayers.
I don't know naysayers, but people who are on the fence about her will totally come around to this. I just don't know if it's going to win her an award, though.
I don't know. I don't think she writes for awards.
See, but her last book won an award.
But it didn't. What did it win?
Didn't it? Wasn't it like an honor, like a Prince honor?
Oh no, that was the Frankie Landau Banks book was.
Oh,
and I really like that one too. That's the one I got signed.
I mean, her writing style is the same, like just as well developed.
Right.
I just don't think this is going to win on any awards. It's not going to get as much notoriety as the other books, I think.
I think it's going to be an issue with the Talented Miss Ripley, Patricia Highsmith connection. But anyway, we should rate it. We've wandered off the path.
When don't we?
Yes.
All right, so our rating system starts at 5 unicorns, comes down to 2 unicorns, and then if it was sucktacular, it's a horse.
I believe I gave it 4 unicorns. I really, really liked it. And the only thing that stopped it from being a 5 for me was the fact that I knew from like page 40 what was happening.
I'm like fluctuating between 3 unicorns and 4. I think I'm gonna give it 4 unicorns because I was interested in it. I read it really quickly. It worked, so I'll give it 4.
Yep.
4.
And that's where we are on Genuine Fraud.
All right, so we'll see you around.
Bye.